السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. باب تحريم الظلم والأمر بالرد المظالم. We continue our book Riyad-us Saliheen by Imam Nawawi rahmatullahi, the 26th chapter of the book, and the chapter is with regards to prohibition of dhulm and oppression and fulfilling the rights of others. And the hadith is when Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أتدرون ما المفلس؟ قالوا المفلس فينا من لا درهم ولا درهم له ولا متاعا فقال إن المفلس من أمتي من يأتي يوم القيامة بصلاة وصيام وزكاة ويأتي وقد شتم هذا وقذف هذا وأكل مال هذا وسكف دم هذا وجرب هذا فيؤتي هذا من حسناته وهذا من حسناته فإن مئت حسناته قبل أن يقضي ما عليه أخذ من خطاياهم فطرحت عليهم ثم طرح في النار أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام رواه مسلم. The hadith is reported by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, and Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu reports that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the Sahaba, the companions, and said, "Do you know who is the bankrupt of my ummah?" Muflis, a person who has nothing. The Sahaba said, "Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the muflis of this ummah, the one who is bankrupt amongst us, is the one who neither has money nor has property." Meaning physically, they have no belongings, they have no money, they have no property. The Prophet ﷺ says the true muflis, the real bankrupt of my ummah would be that individual who would come on the day of Qiyamah with salah, with sawm, and with sadaqah, with zakat, and all of these good deeds. And because this individual has harmed others and hurt others, and has brought difficulty towards others and taken the wealth of others unlawfully, has shed blood upon others, so all of his and her good deeds will be credited to the account of those who suffered at the hand of that individual. And if his or her good deeds fall short to clear the accounts, then the sin would be entered into his account or her account, and he would be thrown inside the fire and Jahannam itself. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam reminded the Sahaba that the true muflis, a person who is truly poor, or a person who is bankrupt, or a person who is lost, is not an individual who just lacks wealth and resources. And brothers and sisters, a point to understand, may Allah always keep us in afiyat and goodness and khair and never in a difficult situation. But the poverty of this world can pass one day. The wealth and the financial issues and crises of this world can come to an end. Why? Because the reality is there is a life after death. There is a life that is eternal, that will be decided because of our iman and our a'mal. That is what will be decided for. No matter how difficult the situation may be in this world, it will come to an end because the realities of akhirah itself. But the true difficulties and harms are the difficulties of akhirah. The true loss is the loss of akhirah, right? If a person loses everything in this world, there's a chance that they may retain this, right? Some people hit the bottom and then Allah gives them more, and then they increase and decrease. So this is world that fluctuates. وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. Things fluctuate between individuals and people. But when it comes to akhirah and a'mal, these are the true things that really matters the most. So let's go back to the hadith itself. Well, Rasulullah ﷺ asking and questioning the Sahaba that who is the biggest bankrupt of my ummah? The Sahaba said the person who has no money and no wealth and no property. The Nabi of Allah ﷺ said no, that is not a true muflis. True muflis is a person who in this dunya had salah and sawm and zakat and sadaqah and all the good deeds. But on the day of Qiyamah, so much was held against them. Shedding blood and taking the wealth of others and accusing others and cursing others and taking away from others, and others who has suffered in the hands of these individuals. First and foremost, give away your hasana and good deeds. When you run out of your good deeds, then take the sins of others. And then when that piles up, may Allah forgive, that will lead a person towards the fire itself. So brothers and sisters, the point behind the hadith itself is, inshallah, along with the huquq of ibad, the huquq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our ibadat, let's always try our best to fulfill the hukuk of ibad, the people as well. Hukuk of Allah and hukuk al-ibad as well. Let's make sure that there is no individual, person, people, or anything that is a source of harm from our hands. That's why Rasulullah said that min husn Islam, from amongst the excellence of a believer is, or true believer is, that people are safe from your hand and from your tongue, right? So we always deal with them in the best of the manner. So may Allah give us tawfiq and ability to fulfill the haqq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to fulfill the haqq of the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, inshallah. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa